Hey, happy Thursday. This is Memoir Thursdays with Marianne Murphy and Murphy Tells Stories. And June is well upon us. I am here in Ashburn, Georgia, visiting a friend, and I am on the back stoop of the wonderful library, which has been providing my reliable Wi-Fi while I travel. And sorry that I posted yesterday's content today. Just been a struggle with sleep for me and Wi-Fi and all those things, I once saw a documentary and this woman had this great quote, and I wish I knew her name to give her credit, but it said, "God bless the flexible, for they will not be bent out of shape." And I think life teaches you that immeasurably. At least for me, it does. But anyway, June is kind of a fun month, right? School break, summer break. June is often a very popular month for weddings and graduations, and there's Father's Day, days at the beach, and it is also Pride Month, which this year is its 56th anniversary. It was started in 1970 to commemorate the year before when there was 6 days of protest and rioting in response to unlawful raids at a gay bar in New York City. And I bet a lot of people don't know that pride was came out of, injustice, and people being fed up with being marginalized and being treated less than and ostracized. I don't think anyone who has any modern day knowledge of pride in a casual way, and certainly outside of the LGBTQ community, that it started from anger, Um, these are joyous parades and events that are inclusive. You don't have to be gay to participate. They're a lot of fun. I highly recommend them. I'm, in fact, going to be in Toronto, um, celebrating there and giving my mom hugs out. So I encourage you, if the Pride event in your United States neighborhood hasn't been canceled, travel somewhere where there is one, because they are happening all over the world. But I wanted to offer some other June memories. And I said graduations, right? So here's a picture of me if with my kindergarten graduation, and I have the my hand on the opposite of my heart. So I was not fully paying attention. And then this is me probably around 7 or 8 years old at Brownie Camp. That's a fun summer activity, right? Going to camp. And my mom was a Brownie leader, and I just remember how much fun it was. We were on tentelos, so they're, I guess, the modern day glamping where you have a wooden floor instead of the ground, and just all the fun outdoor activities and crafts, and um, just how fun it was to be out in the summer and not sleeping in your home. That's probably my first time camping. And this is the house that I grew up in on Long Island from the time I was 4 till I was 13, um, in Bayport, New York. And what's funny in there is there's that VW bus, and I can remember us that thing breaking down all the time and us having to do walks home. um, and I saw one the other day while I was driving, and I thought it was the sweetest thing, and I thought, "Oh, wouldn't that be fun to travel around in instead of my little Toyota Corolla," which I've packed to the gills. Um, and it just brought back flooding back all those memories of us as kids, and, I was like, this is maybe 6 and under, that I'm remembering those stories from. So, really good memories, and when we were on Long Island in the summer, it was when you live in a seasonal climate, going to the beach is an event. You go all day long, and we would take the ferry often over to Barrett Beach, was the kind of the family beach, um, and on Fire Island, and you would pack for the day. My parents had a boat for a few years, and we would go over on the weekend. And my two brothers and I would sleep in the hall, and my parents in the front. And we spend the whole weekend there, and it was lovely. It's definitely a great summer memory. And I'm excited. This month I'm going to a cousin's house and join in a celebration of graduation of his two sons from fifth and eighth grade, and also Father's Day. That will be kind of towards the last leg of my trip towards Toronto. And I've had so many plans change already in my trip. But I'm just going with the flow and enjoying it, and just, saying that this is happening for me, not to me. Everything is happening right on schedule, even if it's not what I planned. And um, but baseball is also another June associated memory for me. Um, my happiest memories from my childhood are around the Little League stand, and it was behind the elementary school, and my dad would umpire, and my mother was a volunteer at the concession stand, and my brothers played Little League, and I played softball. And I can remember my first practice, I hit a home run, but I did not hit the ball for the rest of the season, so I'm sure my coaches were really disappointed with that. Um, and I was a catcher, which they didn't have proper helmets for the girls. They did for the boys. So I definitely got knocked on the head a few times, and who knows if that explains part of my personality. Um, but yeah, June is a joyous month, and I hope that your June includes activities that will create long-lasting memories, like I have. And my June is going to include baseball. I'll be seeing the Phillies. So that'll be team 19 out of my quest to see all 30 teams in their home stadium. And as you know, my goal is, it's a writing project, Baseball the Beautiful. I want to capture the stories of the local fans, so I try to immerse myself in that experience. So if you're going to be at the Phillies game on June 15th, get in touch. I would love to connect with you and hear your story about being a Phillies fan. I also will be going to another Toronto's game June 25th in Toronto. And yes, I would love to tell your stories there too. I have a giveaway for any baseball fans, Toronto fans, or San Francisco Giant fans. The tickets are in San Francisco. I made a mistake in buying them, thinking they were a Toronto game, because I did search for Toronto home team, and somehow this got mixed up. And I believe they're for July 7th. So I'm going to be coming up with a giveaway in June for that. So if you are a baseball fan, please, put in the comments, hey, let me know when the giveaway is. Um, I'm going to, after I leave here, I'm going to Destin, um, to meet a new friend there and check out her 30 acres of property that she wants to turn into an intentional community. And then I'm gonna do a little sightseeing in Montgomery before I go on to Knoxville and see my stepdaughter and her husband. And she's just started an amazing new company, catering and offering cooking classes for a vegan cuisine, and she's amazing. Like, I've learned to cook from her when taking care of her many years ago. And after Knoxville, I'm going to visit my friend Ed in West Virginia and see his beautiful cabin there, and then on to Mass Newton, Virginia for a little R&R. And then I'll be driving through Lancaster, say hello to the Amish, and I'll go to the Phillies game, and then on to Brooklyn and Queens and New York City. and Long Island, and then upstate New York and Binghamton to see some additional relatives. And then I will arrive in Toronto on June 23rd. So that is how my June is shaping up, creating new memories and enjoying summer activities. Um, and it's lovely how when you revisit some of these kind of evergreen activities, how they bring up memories from the past. And so I encourage you to take a few minutes and see what your favorite June memories are and how you might go about creating them anew this June. And I thank you for listening. And until next time, um, be well. I am going to do my best to do an open mic tomorrow. It may not happen because my Wi-Fi is not always accessible, and I am traveling tomorrow. So um, we will see what happens. All right. But I will keep you posted. If I can't do a live, I will certainly at least post a poem for your weekend. And until next time, be well. Thanks for listening.